Baltic Ultimate Club Championships indoors. Welcome back, where we have Salaspils men's team this time taking on Valmiera's men's team for Pool A of the men's team. There's going to be two pools of three in the men's division, where there will be, of course, an eventual winner. So the winner of the pool is going straight to the semifinals, while the bottom two teams are going to be discussing with themselves who is going to go into the semifinals. So playing kind of pre-semis between themselves and against each other, I should say, rather. And of course, the winner of these pre-semifinals is going to go into the semifinals with the winners of their respective pools. And of course, the winners of these semifinals will be meeting each other in the finals. So this is Pool A, first game of the men's division against two Salaspils teams. Lithuanian teams are going to arrive a little bit later. I think they're getting a later game, which is of course a nice thing by the organizers, because they have a slightly longer travel to make it down to Ogra, to Latvia, where of course everything is happening today. I'm Dmitry Doroshenko, joined by the great production crew of many ladies and gentlemen who are swinging the cameras, looking at the screens, pressing the buttons, changing the score, and providing the rosters for us. Salaspils looks like going to be starting on defense this game. They have one line and one sub. So this is going to be quite difficult. Could be quite difficult for them, but then at the same time, we all know who they are. First line, Karklinš, Malderis, Elksnitis, Batmanis, who is a little bit sick today as well, and Jurgensons. Valmiera on offense. Razminovic picks up the disc, swings it over to Biernis, who puts it into Amucinieks, back to Razminovic. Ooh, lots of pressure from Jurgenson on that disc, but Krauklis comes down with it well. Kriegers, everybody's touching the disc on that point on the Valmiera side. Kriegers is looking for, Biernis is looking for options, and that bounces off the hands of Razminovic. Karklinš picks up the disc quickly to Batmanis, who's looking, had an option of Jurgenson's, but maybe it was a little bit closed. Decides to swing that to Karklinš instead. Malderis, Batmanis playing behind the disc at the moment. Malderis to Elksnitis, tries to create an option as well, but not really an option. And now Malderis to Jurgensons for a blade. Good quick score. First break of the game for 1-0 in favor of the Salaspils men there. Yeah, as I was saying, they only have 6 players today, and one of their players has come down with a cold that started yesterday, so they might have basically 5 players and a half, which could be quite tough, of course, on the bodies, but then also a 2-day tournament indoor, so knees are going to be hurting for sure. However, if anybody can do it, Salaspils might pull it off. However, maybe tomorrow it will be a lot harder for them, of course, to keep up with subbed players. And yeah, for the moment, not a problem for Žanis Karklinš there to elevate and knock this disc away. However, Malderis picked it up and maybe a little bit too wide for Apinis for another opportunity of a hold for Valmiera. Jakovels picks it up quite close, basically in the red zone to Kriegers. Surveying his options, back to Jakovels. Not quite in, but very close. But this is definitely in. Gins Mučinieks with the score from Dainis Jakovels. 1-1. A break by Salaspils and now a hold by Valmiera. Of course, early days of this game, anything can change. Salaspils may run away with it, who knows? Or maybe Valmiera will be able to hold them off and get a few breaks themselves for a very contested match. This time, first offense for Salaspils. Jorgenssons running away into the zone, as he is very well known to do, with his speed, of course, and with his acceleration. Probably something that Salaspils will be exploiting quite a lot in these tournaments. Of course, he makes it look easy sometimes. And a quick score, I think it was only 2 passes. But quite effective, of course. Karklinš sends that pull up into the sky. Nice floaty pull. Oh, great, yes, and the defense is already there. Great pull, of course, and quite important to have this pulling prowess, so to say, of course, to stifle the defense. And that was a throwaway, unfortunate throwaway for Valmiera. That gives an opportunity for Salaspils for another quick break. Malderis to Elksnitis, very well-known connection for Salaspils. They're good friends from the high school days, if I remember correctly, talking to them a few times before. Good grab, great conversion of that break opportunity. Clean break, we could say. But unfortunately for Valmiera, yeah, there was a couple of mistakes which were punished in the early stages of this game. This time, Krauklis finds Kriegers. Oh no, not quite. Throws that disc away. Now Jorgenssons picks it up for Apinis to unguarded Karklinš, back to Apinis and to Karklinš, who was poached, I think. I don't think that this is the player that you would like to poach on. Probably not the best idea. And yes, that throwaway. Was it the first pass? It was the first pass throwaway. I think it's the second time that Valmiera is throwing away the disc and giving an opportunity to Salaspils in the first pass. And not in the half of the field where you would want to give an opportunity to someone. Not that you ever want to give an opportunity to someone, of course, but definitely not on your half of the field. So both of these were converted rather quickly. Now Razminovic with disc, looking for options, finds Kriegers, who finds Mučinieks, and that hit the ceiling. That was defended by the ceiling, not by anyone in particular. So the disc will be brought from where it hit the set ceiling by Jorgenssons to Karklinš. Laser into Jorgenssons, and looks like Kriegers and Mučinieks there are unhappy with themselves because that disc went right in between of them. I don't think that they had time to react, or maybe a miscommunication who's going to defend it. I think somebody had to try to defend it at least. I did not see any hands being put up to try to defend this disc. So didn't work out. Did work out for Karklinch, who lasered it into Jurgensson's through two defenders, but it worked. So 5-1, and unsurprisingly, Valmiera is calling a timeout. They have a few things to chat about. They need to clean up their first pass mistakes, as they are costing them the game at the moment. So, yeah, probably not something they're happy about. And we're back with Karklinch putting another pull up, another floaty pull that Razminovic was thinking if he should catch it or not. Decided not to, but it was still not high enough, let's say, for a bricked pull. So he had to pick it up on the sideline, but that works for them at the moment. Looks like the timeout worked. Yes, another score for Valmiera. Both of them are clean offensive holds. Works pretty well for them. I guess the key to success is not throw the disc away, which would, of course, be a good suggestion to anyone, of course. Still, that is a hold, 2-5. Still a bit of a gap, a bit of a hole for them to crawl out of. But, of course, they will do their best to try to stop the line and a bit of Salaspils players. Is going to be playing, the majority of the points, of course. Jurgenssons, once again, shows his lightning acceleration. To Karklinch, then to Apinis, back to Karklinch now with Malderis, and back to Karklinch. Elksnitis into Apinis for a score. Nice swinging action. Great to see how they are only choosing the options that are absolutely, which are just open. Maybe Valmiera needs to find or needs to stay a little bit closer to their players. But that could be difficult, of course, where almost any space on this field can be attacked from almost any space, because the majority of these players have the opportunity and have the possibility of throwing it from anywhere on the field to anywhere on the field, bar the defense, of course. Valmiera, another offensive point. Not as fast anymore, and that is thrown into the hands of the defense in the form of Apinis. Apinis to Malderis, back to Apinis, who is asking for a particular space, which is not being attacked at the moment, but still works. Batmanis to Malderis, now to Elksnitis and to Jurgenssons. Not quite for a score, but very close, just on the line. Elksnitis to Malderis and to Jurgenssons. Quick disc movement. As you see, I'm a little bit behind. Apologies for that. But with this quick disc movements. Can be hard to keep track of the players, but I will do my best to bring you, of course, the thrower and the scorer. And that is 7-2. You've heard the buzzer. That means that we are in halftime at the moment. Rather quick game once again. It's only been 13 minutes of the game in this group stage play of the Baltic Ultimate Club Championships indoors, Buti, like it is called often here. As players take a bit of a break, I will have a sip of my coffee and I'll be back with you in a second. It was a nice quick break, a nice couple sips of warm coffee, and we are back in the second half of this match. Salaspils, Valmiera. As I've said earlier, Group A, group stages of the Baltic Ultimate Club Championships, presented to you by Latvian Flying Disc Federation. Thank you for them, of course, for providing the stream for you to watch at home for free. So if you like it, if you like Ultimate, subscribe. If you like Indoor Ultimate, you should definitely subscribe and like our stream as well. And we will be ever grateful to you for that. Uncharacteristic error by Salaspils over there. They're laughing it off. Karklinš and Malderis. Looks like there was a bit of a miscue, but they are not very worried about that. Of course, with a 5-point gap, maybe not something that they should be worried about, but of course they should minimize these mistakes. Nobody wants mistakes, nobody wants turnovers. Disc is with Valmiera for their opportunity, first opportunity for a break for Valmiera, and unfortunately this opportunity has been thrown to the floor by Dainis Jakovels, if I remember right. Jurgensons decides to pick that disc up and throw it to Malderis, which worked for a score, 8-2. Very, of course, unfortunate for Valmiera, who had this opportunity to get a break back after an uncharacteristic error from Salaspils, but not this time. Maybe another time. Maybe another opportunity will present itself. Who knows? Or maybe not. For now, another pull goes up from Jānis Karklinš. Razminovic catches that pull, surveying his options, finds Kriegers, who finds Berziņš. Back to Kriegers. Yeah, their discs are being thrown at maybe stall 4 or 5, while Salaspils discs are usually being thrown at maybe stall 2, 3, so much faster game. Now Biernis held on to that disc for a while, found Razminovic. In the end, Berziņš back to Razminovic. A blade to, ooh, nice. Great outstretched hand of Gins Mucinieks. Great grab over there under pressure from Elksnitis. For another score for Valmiera, 3-8. Another clean hold. All of Valmiera's points have been clean holds. And if there was a mistake, unfortunately for them, of course, Salaspils were able to pick that up and march it into the end zone. Another offensive point for Salaspils. They're not used to playing. They're not used to play offense in this game. I think it's the second, the third offensive point, if I remember right. But they will take it. Karklic now to Malderis on the sideline. Back to Karklic in the middle of the field. Karklic surveying his options, finds Batmanis, who is a bit poached in the back. Elksnitis, a bit of a bump on the mark. And of course, unsurprisingly, he's calling that foul. I think the defender there was also bumped by another player on Valmiera's side, but it is still a foul. Elksnitis found Karklic, found Apenis, and nice, I think it was an offhand backhand to Malderis for a nice score. Oh yeah, and Karklic there, as I'm watching the bit of a replay, he was showing the behind the back throw. You can of course go back and have a look at that. That was a little bit of a fancy fake from Janis Karklic. Another break for Salaspils? No, that was an offensive point by Salaspils. Yes. We're not used to seeing Salaspils playing offense, but it is still a hold, a clean hold by them. Oof. Nice fancy footwork by Razminovic there. Low release, backhand, love this throw. Into Kriegers, to Razminovic, to Biernis. And Biernis to Razminovic, who was commanding this offense. Very versatile player. Of course, very wide figure, so to say. And he has a lot of throwing prowess. It's very difficult to mark him. He has a big wingspan. So yes, huge versatility on throws, and of course he's able to find spaces quite well, as he has just shown it there. Another clean hold by Valmiera. They seem to be finding their rhythm pretty well. The pull lands near the hands of Karklic, who picked it up to Apenis, and a hammer to Elksnitis. Beautifully done. That was a beautiful hammer. Maybe a little too close to the sideline, however, it still worked. Nice point. Well done by Salaspils. 10-4. We are about 3 or 9 points away from the end of the game. Depends on from which side you're looking at it. Good morning, Manuela from Colombia. It seems like it is, 4 a.m. in Colombia, if I remember right? So, wow, you really like ultimates and you really like hand blocks, just like Arvids Karklic there is showing us what he can do. I always have a question. Does that count for a double happiness or not? Because he did make the defense. He contributed to the point in form of throwing it into Jurgensson's. Is it a double happiness or... I should probably ask that somewhere on Reddit. Right. That is another break, though. Unfortunate, not a throwaway, but a hand block, of course, by Karklic. So great awareness by him. And 11-4. Salaspils will most probably put this game away rather quickly. However, Valmiera will try to say a few words about that and put a few more points on the board. Krauklis with the disc to Mucinieks. Throws it to Krauklis. However, there was a call on that play. I'm not sure what the call was. Interesting. Not entirely sure what the call was, but anyway, the disc is back in play, and looks like Kriegers was either stepped on or had a bit of a bump on the mark, so he does not look very comfortable. He called an injury. So he will, oh yeah, I think it is his hamstring, or what's this muscle called? Doctors over there, please tell me what was this muscle and write us in the comments. I'm not very good in anatomy, of course. I'm just throwing words out there. Apinis with the defense to Elksnitis. And to, oh, beautiful! I think that burned, but that looked amazing, and very nice point. Ouch. Yes, Apinis there picks himself up from the floor, maybe even scrapes himself up from the floor. That did not look very pleasant, and that definitely burned. Ouch. But great grab, great awareness. Yeah, I don't think that you can see him on the bench over there, but it does not look comfortable. I think he has a few burns on his knees after that layout, but great awareness, great way to keep that disc alive. Well done by him. Back to Valmiera's offense. Another offensive. Oh, grab. No, a mistake. He could not hold on to it. Berzinch maybe should have done it the same way as Apinis did in the previous point, but not this time, unfortunately. Salaspils are looking at winning, are looking at possibly final point of the game, and it is the final point of the game. Jurgensons into Batmanis for a score, for another break. 13-4. Great layout by Apinis in one of the last, in the closing stages of the game. Good try by Berzinch, but did not work out for him, sadly. And Salaspils picked it up, put another break on the board. 13-4, I think I've said? Yes, 13-4 is the result. Salaspils are starting pretty well, the way they wanted to start this day, of course. We will be back with another game, with another women's game, where Ogre Moments is going to take on DTS from Lithuania, an international matchup. See you in about 10-15 minutes or so. Thank you for tuning in, and stay with us. Don't go anywhere.